What do you really need to go camping? What's up? This is Richie and Jamie from the Where We Wild YouTube channel, and today we're going to talk about what you really need to bring camping. You can go nuts. You can bring the kitchen sink.
Sure.
There's no shame in it, especially car camping. You know, it gives you room to bring stuff to make you feel more comfortable. You know, you have a little bit of wiggle room. You can bring certain things to try out. When you're backpacking, you know, it's all about keeping the weight down. But car camping, you got a lot more room to play around.
Yeah. So
in this video, we're going to talk about just the basic bare necessities of stuff that should be on your camping list. Nothing crazy. No. But just to get you going out there, and then you can work off this list and start to get a little nuts in the future. All right, so to start it off, we suggest buying storage bins for all your stuff. It makes life way easier to organize everything. You can just keep track of your inventory. We have 3 bins that we use mainly. One is for sleeping stuff, the other one is for camp kitchen stuff, and the other one is just kind of miscellaneous, you know, here and there. So you can get the storage bins that we have. I think we got them at Home Depot for like 10, 15 bucks each. I don't even know. They're not expensive. They stack on top of each other, and it's just great just to throw them in the car and you're ready to roll. The next thing that we're going to talk about, I think, is very important, is where you're going to sleep. So buying a good tent is, you know, a really important decision to make. We think that, like, when we first started going camping, we just thought, okay, it's just the 2 of us, we need a 2-man tent. Wrong. If it's just 2, we recommend getting a 4-person tent. If there's 4 of you, get a 6-person tent. If there's 6, get 8. 8, get 10. Just get, like,
add 2 people to your
yeah, because that way you have a little more room to play with, and you're not so tight in there, especially if you're a tall guy like me. I'm 6'3", and you know, that 2 to 3 person tent, man, I couldn't even fit in there.
And if you're a little shorter like me, our 6-person tent I can fully stand up in.
Yeah,
so it's really comfortable, and I can change easily, you know. And
if you have a big tent, you know, it helps you with your options for bedding. You don't have to be so stripped down. You can get a little more comfortable with your bedding. So, you know, all tents come in different shapes and sizes and stuff. You know, there's a lot of good ones out there. Just got to do a little research, find out what is going to be best for you. Are you in, you know, cold weather camping, hot weather camping? They make tents for pretty much every situation. So most of the time you're really just going to go with like an average right down the middle kind of tent, but just make sure that there's enough room for you and your family. I think is the most important thing. So once you got your tent all picked out, you're going to need bedding for your tent. And depending how much room you guys have for your stuff, there's a bunch of different options. I mean, we talk about those floor tiles that make the floor of the tent more comfortable in all our camping hacks videos. You can get the sleeping pads. You can go the air mattress route. That's kind of what we do.
Yeah, it's been pretty comfortable
and
too.
Since you're not lugging anything around, it's just everything's packed in the car, feel free to make yourself as comfortable as you can, you know? So take that air mattress, get yourself one of those blow up pumps, and it's really just what makes you comfortable. If you like the air mattress, go with the air mattress. If you like the sleeping pads, go with the sleeping pads.
Yep, you can get cots if you have the room in your tent.
You can go that route too. You can get some cots. And then I guess pillows. You need some pillows and extra blankets. A lot of times we'll bring just our pillows from home, but if we forget, like our last trip, I always have these little Trekology camping pillows, and they are really cool, man. Obviously they fit in this tiny little bag, and you just blow them up with air in like 2 seconds. I think they're under $20. And there's like a little button here that helps you lock the air in. And boom, that quick, you got a pillow. These things are great, man. They're under $20, Trekology. And oh my God, I'm all lightheaded now. It's like blowing up a balloon. But no, these work good. So you can get little camping style pillows and stuff like that. They work awesome. Or like I said, you can bring your pillows from home. Definitely bring some extra blankets. But you know, you kind of have to plan for the weather. If you know it's going to dip into the 20s and 30s, you know, you're going to bring extra blankets. If you know you're going to be okay in 60, 70 degrees at night, you don't have to bring so much. So check the weather report, try to figure out what you're going to need. And then speaking of weather and how cold it's going to be, the next thing to go on top of your bedding is a sleeping bag. Not everybody uses sleeping bags. I mean, you can just go blankets, sheets and blankets on your air mattress, you know, whatever. But a good sleeping bag is always kind of a good thing to have, especially when it gets real cold. And the sleeping bags are all rated, you know, so 0 degree, 20 degree, 30 degree, 50 degree. What does that mean? It means that number is the lowest temperature it can get, and that's what the bag will keep you warm at. So like if you get a 30 degree bag and it dips to 10 degrees, that's just going to be too much for the bag. You're going to want a 0 degree bag if it's going to be in the teens. I like to get 20 degrees below where it's supposed to be. So like if it's 50s at night, get a 30 degree bag.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It depends on the type of sleeper you are too, right? Like I'm more of a hot sleeper.
Yeah, I get a little chilly.
So I think my bag might be 50.
Yours is, yeah.
I've been plenty comfortable even in colder weather. But again, I'm more of a hot sleeper. He's always super chilly when we camp, so he got the
30 degree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can get the mummy style bags that like really wrap you up, and there's a bunch of different styles. And another thing that's important too is what side the zipper's on. Like if you like to sleep on your left side, make sure that the zipper comes on the left side. If you like to sleep on your right side, get it on the right side, because mine is actually the wrong side for me. I like to sleep on my left side and the zipper's on the right, so I gotta like turn all the way and like try to find it. So that is not something that you think about a lot when you buy a sleeping bag, what side the zipper's on, but they'll tell you in the description, you know, it's a right side bag, a left side bag. So check that out depending on what, you know, position you like to sleep in. So the next thing we got to talk about is camp kitchen gear. We have a separate video that's all about our camp kitchen gear you can check out. We'll link at the end of this video. But just basic stuff off the top of my head right now is you can get just a simple backpacking stove. That's what we use. And that helps boil water fast, you know, for your coffee, you know, soups, rice, stuff like that. You can also put little pans on top of them, little pots, you know, whatever. They're real cheap.
And we can use it when fires are restricted.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Some places, especially we live in California, there's a lot of fire restrictions and sometimes you can't cook on the fire.
Yeah.
You know, that gets it done for us. If you have a big family, those like 2 to 4 burn stoves that you can buy by like Coleman or something like that, that's awesome, man. All you need is one of those and it's like having your stove at home.
Yeah.
We love to use a cast iron. You can pretty much cook any camping meal you can think of in a cast iron. We use that thing for so much stuff.
Everything.
You know, you've seen us cook on that a lot. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say the beauty of those is that they can get super hot and they can literally being put on the
fire. We cook on fire. Yeah.
Whereas if you took like a regular Teflon pan or something, it'd be ruined.
Yeah.
So exactly. They're like indestructible and everything's so good on a cast iron. So.
But then other than that, just basic stuff: plates, utensils, cutlery, forks, knives, spoons, cooking utensils like spatula, tongs, stuff like that. Real basic. Aluminum foil, priceless. That is camping gold. Aluminum foil you use for everything, man. Everything. And you can straight up just cook meals in those. So that's just absolutely priceless to have for us. Aluminum foil. And garbage bags.
Super important.
You got to have that. You don't want to leave stuff laying around. We always open up a new garbage bag the second we get there. We just fill it up as it goes on. Right after dinner, we clean up, we fill the bag up, we go throw it out. Never leave garbage laying around your campsite. You don't want any bears or mountain lions or anything else to come wandering in looking for a meal at 2 o'clock in the morning when you're trying to sleep. So keep your campsite as clean as possible. Another thing that you should have in your kitchen gear obviously is water. A lot of campsites have water spigots that you can go and you can collect water and stuff, but I don't know if we ever really trust that much. We use it to like wash our dishes and stuff, and once you boil water it kills all the germs. You don't have to worry about it, but we usually bring a nice good supply of our own drinking water.
If you're coffee lovers like us and coffee's super necessary,
oh yeah, we talk about this all the time.
To bring it up again, French press is definitely on our basics list for
That's
camping.
True. Yeah, absolutely. Get that French press coffee maker. It's we live on that thing, man.
Yeah, we swear by it.
Do you remember before we figured that out, all the different ways we tried to make a good cup of coffee?
It was impossible.
We tried everything. Those little hacks where you wrap them up in the filters and rubber band them, drop them in your cup. That don't work. No. The little percolators, that tasted like garbage. The instant stuff wasn't horrible.
It's not bad.
It gets it done for like backpacking and stuff, but it doesn't hold a candle to the French press.
No.
That's just the absolute best. And you know, that's all in our camp kitchen video as well. We talk about the French press. We'll link a couple things at the end of this video, the camp kitchen video, maybe our camping hacks video, and in the description of this video we'll link some of this gear that we're talking about, the camping pillow. I'll find a good affordable French press for you. Little things like that will just be linked in the description. So next thing we're going to talk about is you need a good cooler. You got to bring your food and your cold stuff out with you. Just make sure it's big enough to kind of handle everything. But we've talked about this a bunch of times before, and we love to use frozen water bottles as our ice in the cooler. They stay frozen way longer. You don't have to worry about water filling up your cooler and soaking all your food and everything getting soggy and gross. We like to use the 1 liter water bottles because then you can like strategically place them around. But if you got the room and you know that's not an issue for you, go ahead, man, freeze up some gallon bottles of water, gallon jugs, freeze them up, man. Those things will be solid blocks of ice for days. But they take up a lot of space and we don't have the biggest cooler, so we find the 1 liter water bottles work the best for us. All right, so you got your tent, you got your bedding figured out, you got your kitchen set up. It's probably time to light a fire, man. So lighting a fire, there's a million different ways you can do it. Geez, like my personal favorite way to do it is the way you've seen me do it in all our videos. I try new little gadgets and stuff to get my spark and stuff, but that dryer lint trick that I use all the time is just, it doesn't fail for me. You just collect some dryer lint out of your dryer at home. I'll fill it up in a, I'll fill up like a paper towel or toilet paper roll tube, stuff it in there. That way you have a little cardboard around it once it catches, and that helps light. And you know, I'll use all these little spark tools and stuff, but matches are lighter and it's game over. I just try to have some fun with it, and I'll try different stuff to get sparks, flint and steel, and you know, little strikers, and it's just fun. But when I wake up first thing in the morning and I'm freezing cold, I don't mess around. I just go, I'll go right to the lighter or the matches and take care of it. Once you get the lighter or the spark onto that dryer lint, you know, and it starts coming up, before you even get to that point, just make sure you collect a lot of little stuff, you know, chop it off if you need to, off your big logs. Some places will let you collect it off the ground, some places might not, so you want to look into the rules and regulations of wherever you're camping. But just make sure you have a nice little pile of small stuff to go on top of that once that spark catches. So then it's just slowly building it up, you know, real simple. You get the spark, it's starting, and you just slowly build it like a puzzle. Little places here and there without smothering it. And that's it. So after your fire's built, you know, it's getting dark, you cook dinner, you know, you got to see what you're doing once it gets dark. So definitely grab yourself a couple of these headlamps. I'll link them in the description as well. These are my favorite ones. They're very affordable. They work awesome. They have 3 settings, you know, low, medium, and like high beam. They even have a red light you can click on. That way you're not disturbing anybody at night and you can still see. They're great to have. Headlamps, lanterns. We have a little camping fan that has a lantern on it. That thing is awesome. I think we just talked about that in our last video. The tricks for your tent. Yeah, that thing is awesome. I'll link that in the description as well. Keeps your tent nice and cool, and then you got another light there too. The only thing you got to worry about though with putting lanterns out is it attracts bugs. So when you're setting up on a picnic table and you're going to eat dinner and you set up all your lanterns, that's when the bugs are going to come in and they're going to be all over you while you're trying to eat dinner. So it's kind of like, you know, a double-edged sword. Like you get the light, but you're going to get the bugs too. So our trick that we've mentioned a few times in other videos is to get some white sage and to light it and just kind of, you know, smoke it around a little bit, you know, just kind of let the smoke go around you, and that really helps keep the mosquitoes and the bugs away.
It does. It's
just a natural repellent. They don't like it. I'll link that in the description as well. It's just white sage bundles. And obviously be fire safe, you know, lay it down on some aluminum foil when you light it. Make sure it's not going to blow away into a brush pile and start a big fire. Just be safe with it whenever you're burning anything. But yeah, the sage will help keep the bugs away for you. That's good stuff. So what else do you think you need? Maybe camping chairs?
Place to sit.
You got to sit down. Nice. I mean, a lot of places come with a nice picnic table, but you know, you want to sit around the fire. You want to make s'mores, you want to hang out, you want to tell stories, talk, you know, you're going to need some camping chairs. They're real cheap, you know, you can get them wherever, Walmart, Amazon, Costco, you know. You can get really crazy expensive ones, you can get really cheap ones. The last thing I think we should talk about, and I think it's very important to have, is at least have a small med kit. Just something like that. Just a small little first aid kit. you know, or build one for yourself if you don't want to buy one of the pre-made ones, just in case, you know, you're gonna need some stuff. Someone gets cut, someone gets stung by a bee, burns themselves on the fire by accident, anything. It's nice to have some basic first aid items.
Exactly, and it's not big. There's 85 items in here, and it's this small, so
yeah. And then if you want to build a bigger kit for yourself, we always recommend, like, these small kits are great for like tiny little things, but if someone, God forbid, really gets hurt and is really bleeding, you're gonna need some bigger stuff, like bigger gauze pads and rolls of gauze and you know, medical tape and stuff like that. So
big ice packs.
Right. Yeah. We always recommend building an extra kit for bigger injuries, because a band-aid is just not going to help you if you really get hurt.
Right.
You know, so it's whatever's going to make you feel more comfortable out there, because that's the thing. You're trying to have a good time. You're trying to relax and be relaxed out there.
Right.
So whatever is going to mentally as well as physically make you more comfortable and your family more comfortable, that's all that matters.
Right.
And you know, there's no shame in taking anything you want to take.
Sure.
So I guess that wraps it up. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like, and if you're into this sort of thing, don't forget to hit subscribe. We put a new video out every week. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Later. If you want to see more videos just like this one, be sure to check out the rest of the Where We Wild YouTube channel, where we post a brand new video every week. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get notified whenever we post a new adventure. Thanks for watching.